in there and pissed off on Monday because they feel like the weekend was too short.
You called the weekend a 2-day vacation recently, and I don't know why that hasn't caught on everywhere.
It is a 2-day vacation. Yeah, man. But some people, work throughout. Yeah. So.
I like that 2-day vacation. So Friday is basically the first. This evening is the start of really a 2 and an evening. So 2 days and an evening of Friday.
Yeah, so everybody's trying to get that party started early.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, especially for the Vols. Yeah, got to get that party started right.
I want to hear from Vols fans today. Phone lines are open, 615-737-1045. This Josh Heupel thing, whether or not you wanted him and if you wanted this guy or that guy or who you wanted and you didn't get, we talked a lot about John Gruden in the offseason. Blaine, I'm glad you brought that up as director of content because here's the thing. I said about Gruden, because I try to look at things from an administrative standpoint because I used to be a college administrator. So I was in the room when coaches got hired and decisions got made, or at least in the room next to the room. I don't want to get too crazy here, but I got an inside look at how some of that stuff went. So when you pick a guy or a gal to coach your team and you're trying to, trying to rebuild from whatever got you to this point, I always try to look at the person's past and what I thought they could do and try to project that. And to me, the model for what Tennessee wanted was if you could get in year one what Ole Miss got out of Lane Kiffin. They won half their games. They were exciting to watch. Mm-hmm. Everybody talked about them because they scored so many points. And even the games that they didn't win were just crazy exciting. So I thought, what if he wins half his games? You'd be bowl eligible, depending on what happens with it. We don't know what's going on with the investigation. It's all gotten real quiet. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a bad thing. So if they could win half their games, but they were entertaining, if they could win the games that they're supposed to win, and I didn't mention this, but this is what you have to think about as an administrator is, what if we could start selling some tickets? Not that they don't sell a lot of tickets, because Vol fans, I was listening to Buck a little bit earlier, and I know some people were calling in and railing on Vol fans, and I get that. It's SEC. You always want to get after the other team's fans, but they're good fans. They pay money. They buy tickets.
They're loyal.
They're loyal fans. Yeah. Even through 10 years plus in the wilderness, they've been loyal. And so I thought, ultimately, if things got interesting enough, he could probably even sell tickets. Well, they got a sellout. It's the first one since, 2017, I think?
Is that it?
A Saturday night sellout against Ole Miss. And the Lane Kiffin factor is interesting, but it's because the team is exciting, because Ole Miss is exciting, and they're ranked, and it's going to be a fun atmosphere, and it's all those things. So he's winning the games that he's supposed to win. He picked the wrong quarterback in the beginning, but they settled that, and he moved on. Okay. Move on.
Well, at least he wasn't stubborn enough to just stick with the guy.
He was not. They kept it.
Now, injuries may have added
contributed.
To that.
They helped make the decision.
And he got it right eventually.
He sure did. And so he's sticking with his guy, and this is the midpoint of the season, and they're playing a ranked team at home, and it's a sellout, and fans are excited. And if you're Danny White, you're winning the games you're supposed to. Nobody expects you to win the national championship of the conference this year. You just sold 100,000+ tickets for this game. I would say at this point, we don't know what's going to happen Saturday. We don't know what's going to happen the next week or the next month or anything. But to me, this thing appears to be on some kind of schedule towards something good. I would be very excited right now.
Well, I'm not going to go that far. I would say this is exactly what you expected.
Yeah.
At least for me, I said they'd be 6-6. You score a lot of points. His offense is going to put up points. It's going to be exciting to watch at worst case scenario, whether you're winning games or not. Look at the schedule, you say, 6 wins is feasible. Mm-hmm. The true test for any coach is after you get to 6, then get to 8, and then get to 10, and then how to maintain it. Those are the hardest tests. So right now he's doing exactly what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Bringing excitement, putting up points, and they're winning the games they're supposed to. So I watched a lot of UT, and you become a fan of UT living here in Tennessee. So they're doing exactly what I thought would happen. Really, I don't think any surprises really at this point. I think they're going to beat Ole Miss. I think the difference is, just make it simple. Don't make things complex. Their defense is better than Ole Miss's defense. They run the same style offense. Just one is maybe a little more speed than the other as far as how they run it. So yeah. I think Heupel's, super competent offensive mind and what works in college football. So, I'm excited for him, though. I'm just as pumped up as though the people who went to UT. I'm glad they're excited again. I mean, man, people would be down and out just because the football team is not winning games. I'm
Oh,
talking about they would have a bad day.
oh
Like
yeah.
A miserable week. I
Miserable
was like,
months.
what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's Tennessee is just horrible. They keep making bad decisions, coach after coach. I'm just sick. Oh man. Well, what's what? Now you're feeling good and dandy. Get your caffeine ready. Get your popcorn ready. Cause it's gonna be fun. Night game. Checkerboard. Ooh.
Wearing all orange.
Oh, I
I
gotta
saw
watch
that
that. I gotta
today.
stop yelling now. I gotta
That's
stop
okay.
yelling.
No.
Yeah.
Keep the excitement. I like it.
Yeah, no. I just gotta make sure I keep my voice down. I've been told not to yell.
It's all right. You're not yelling. I'm sitting here next to you. I don't think you're yelling. I wrote these stats down on Monday just because I was looking at Hendon Hooker. He's the highest rated quarterback in the SEC. He's ahead of Matt Corral. Now, some of you may
So
say,
where's that put him in the country, though?
I'd
He's
have to
top
look-
five. He has to be. I'm gonna just throw it out there.
well, I mean,
Well, at least
Matt
let's
Corral's-
say Power Five. I don't
Yeah.
know Power Five.
Yeah, there's always some group of five guy who's putting
Yeah.
up stupid numbers
Yeah.
somewhere. He certainly
Well, I don't know
tops
what
in the
kid from
SEC.
Cincinnati's doing.
Mac, Desmond Ritter.
Mhm.
Matt Corral is number 2 in the SEC. Hendon Hooker is number 1. Hendon Hooker is 4th in the SEC in passing touchdowns with 13. He's only got 1 interception. The Vols are 3rd in yards per game, 3rd in points per game in the country. They're 47th in total defense. As we said yesterday, the Rebels are 100. Tennessee allows 21.5 points per game. They're 37th in scoring defense. Rebels are 106. They're allowing 32.2. And Ole Miss allows 191 rushing yards per game.
Mhm.
And they're similar offenses.
Yeah.
And Hendon Hooker's the right guy to run this Vols offense. And the thing about him is, and when they went to Missouri, I thought, okay, Missouri's terrible against the run. Well, they just run it down their throat. And they ran it down their throat. But I love the way they threw the ball, too. And Hooker has become a pretty accurate, and he's accurate in this offense.
Yeah,
So-
well, I think he's grown and matured and gotten better and worked on the little things over his time at Tennessee.
I think so,
And then
too.
all of a sudden he fits the offense. I just like the way he operates. I said that from his first time he got out there, that he was the better quarterback. Now, people are going to say, but he's not the better talent. And I keep saying the same thing over and over again. The better talent is sometimes not the better player.
Yeah.
And you got to quit saying, oh, but his upside, his potential. Well, guess what? His potential is solidified in that he's been playing for 4 years. He is who he is. There's no more upside. Sorry. No, he's reached the top. I mean, can he play better? Yep, that's the only thing. Well, he can't operate. This is who he is.
Yeah.
You can't keep saying that over and over. Oh, his upside. Well, eventually at some point it runs out. No, well, he didn't ever reach it. There's a whole bunch of people like that. And one guy that comes to mind, granted he's a better athlete, Milton, is Russell. DeMarcus Russell, the quarterback from LSU that went to the Raiders.
Oh, Jamar.
Oh,
Grant.
what was his upside? He couldn't hit the backside of a barn consistently. Sorry. Nope. Bye. Yeah. And that's kind of how I'm viewing it. Not to say that he can't improve and maybe he'll be the starting quarterback next year, or maybe hopefully Hooker doesn't get hurt and he goes back out there and then he sees how it's supposed to operate.
Mhm.
And then he gets better.
Would you be surprised, too, if he didn't just show up at Liberty or somewhere like that to finish his career, Milton, if he went somewhere else at this point?
I think he's going to be there because I think Hooker leaves. He graduates, right? He's in grad school, isn't he, or somewhere like that?
I think COVID gave him, I think he's got this year and one more, right, Lucas?
Yeah, this year and one more.
So,
Well, if I was him, I wouldn't come out. I would come out,
Hooker?
I wouldn't go
Keep
back.
it moving?
Yeah, if I keep playing like this, bye-bye. Bye-bye. The numbers don't lie. And by the way, I didn't play a couple games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What will my numbers look like then? They would be tolerant that I'm a Heisman candidate. Yeah.
Not a deep quarterback class in terms of the draft.
Right, as far as coming out, right? It's all about timing.
Boy, if he keeps this up,
Mm-hmm, yeah.
because the NFL now,
I'm about to say, there's a handful of guys I wouldn't come back. The two corners, bye. Bye to the NFL.
Yeah.
Bye. I hope somebody's giving them some good recommendations. Come back up. Now you're injured. Up. Stock dropped.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, no. I think
Run.
you get it when you can get it, for
Mhm.
sure.
Running back Evans. Bye. That's 3 years, right? That makes him eligible. Bye. You're a running back too.
Yeah.
Ugh.
the NFL is now embracing a lot of these college principles with what the quarterback does, these RPOs. And it used to be pro style meant pro style, and the NFL was just power I and everybody. Nope. Quarterbacks who can run the ball are, I mean, Hendon Hooker, he's got a real chance. If he keeps playing like this, like you said, just go and don't look back.
Yeah.
And as Lucas pointed out, not a deep quarterback class.
As long as it's just principles and it's not what you live and die by.
Sure.
The RPO, yeah, it's fine. Because he's not going to be able to take those hits in the NFL.
Oh, no,
That's
no.
impossible.
No.
Only person who's really perfected that is Jackson. And he's a special talent.
And it's going to
Hooker's
take its
not
toll
at that
on
level.
him eventually.
Yeah, it will.
I mean, it did on Cam Newton.
Mm-hmm.
And Cam Newton got hit so many times by
He's a big goddess type built guy, man. He looks like a defensive end.
He does look like a defensive end. He's like a Greek statue, Cam Newton. And it eventually got him. Now, it took a while, but it got him. Yeah. Just
We're hearing Evans is playing, right? Tyon Evans? We're hearing on his IG, he said that he was playing.
Allegedly, he said that on his
Wait,
Instagram Live. Is it gone now?
Whoa. What is allegedly when he said it on his IG?
Well, I didn't see him say it. I saw others saying he said it.
Oh.
Our guy John Bryce reported yesterday he likely will not play.
Well, he did leave room for error and likely. So we shall see. Well, didn't Hypo have an interview today?
Not speaking to the media today.
Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Stay tuned for the game.
Well, certainly the Vols want to run the ball against Ole Miss, and I think the Vols can certainly score what Arkansas scored in that game, so they ought to be able to keep things moving. We got to keep things moving. Mike Vrabel, Select Titan, is supposed to talk to the media. We always like to check in with Vrabel if we can on Friday, so let's do this. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll tap into some of these Titans as they talk about the now Monday night game against the Buffalo Bills here in Nashville. 3HL coming up next. We are Blaine and Mickey.
Don't forget to say, Alexa, play 104.5 The Zone.
So let's take a minute to talk to all of you. West. You and Brent were like, no, man, it's got a different name now. It had happened while I was gone. St. Thomas Sports Park. I'm still nervous when I say it, but I know that's the name.
That's why I don't say the name.
Just practice facility.
Yep, they are at the practice facility.
They are. And by the way,
you can't make a mistake with that.
for anybody.
This is how I avoid mistakes.
Yes.
I make enough on my own.
Well, I do too. I always say the wrong name, and you always go, no, it's the other guy. If there's two people that do the same thing, I don't know. I got to stop doing that.
Well, that's why we make such a great team.
Right. We fill in the blanks for each
we
other.
help each other out.
We do.
Yeah,
Good
just
team.
like, when you get toasted, I'm over the top. And then when I miss a tackle, you go make the play.
No, when you miss a tackle, I grab the guy's foot and hold on for you to get back up and chase him down and
That's
hit
what
him
a team
again.
is all about, man. Right there.
That's right. Here's some notes on the Titans team, again, as we wait on some of these live press conferences. Jim Wyatt, Caleb Farley, Tierre Tart, and Roger Saffold all returned to practice on Friday for the Titans. Good news.
Did you see video of – I'm worried about Farley. I think I'm pretty cool with Saffold, of Wiley Vet.
Okay.
Still play.
There's right over that tweet is video of Farley stretching.
Oh, that's not enough.
He's stretching, and boy, is he stretching. And here he is. He's standing up after his stretch, and now he's drinking water. He's staying hydrated. That's good for things like hamstrings, as I understand. And then he threw the water bottle, and the video started again. So here's the bad news.
But what was it? What was his injury, though?
His injury was
I don't
I
know.
got it.
It's just-
I
man,
got it all right
It
here.
baffles me. I'd be just frustrated as a teammate if I'm out there.
Oh.
Like, why is he always hurt?
This was not hurt.
I mean,
Illness.
or any of the rookie, young player. I go, man, dang, man.
You're young. Why are you?
You're not even old. I mean, you got to be out here practice. You need these reps.
He had an illness.
Oh, okay.
So he got bit by some kind of illness bug.
Oh, I thought you were about to say he got
No, he
bit
didn't get bit by
a bee.
No.
And his lips swelled up.
So I do have some bad news though. Not spotted. This is per Jim Wyatt. Christian Fulton.
Oh, I think he's no way playing. There's no way.
All right, I'm gonna read. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna
Is Hooker out there? Hooker's out there.
No, here we go. Yeah.
No,
Hooker's out
gotta
there.
be there.
No, Hooker's out there.
Okay.
He's still in that window though. He's in the limbo. He's like in Star
he's
Trek
gonna
where they're
be there.
beaming somebody somewhere. He's still in the beam.
Yeah,
He hasn't landed on the other ship yet. Okay.
I'm gonna DM him.
Not spotted. Christian Fulton, Monty Rice, Jeremy McNichols.
What? My dude?
Oh no, it gets worse.
Jeremy, what's
No,
he
no,
didn't he
this-
practice yesterday? I saw him doing drills.
Yeah, he didn't
'Cause
practice.
I remember his ankle was a little sore
Yeah.
from that guy rolled up on for the Jaguars.
I haven't
but
given-
he came back in the game, and
I
I
know.
thought he was just going to rest all the way until like Thursday. Well, yeah, I guess he did.
I haven't given you the worst news yet.
Oh, Jeremy Nichols. Oh, he's got it. Who's backing up the King? Because we cannot depend on the other guy named Evans, Darrington Evans.
Well, he's still in the tractor beam somewhere too.
I saw him running. He looked better than last week.
Okay.
I saw him, but I'm still not with him playing this week. I mean, short week. They play Monday then Sunday. No way. Him and Bud Dupree, I would not play.
Well, Bud
regardless.
Dupree didn't practice today. That's the other one.
Yeah. I mean, he looks better. Dupree as well looks better. But with the short week, you got to think in line with, okay, if he plays, then he's not on a short week. He's not going to be able to go because his knee's going to swell up. Regardless, I'm sorry, ACL tear, it's going to swell up.
Wasn't it Kevin Carter you told me whose knee swelled up for the rest of his life after he had the surgery?
Yeah, every game.
Yeah.
Every game, I'd see him in the training room all week. But he wouldn't miss practice. This guy, he wouldn't miss practice. He never wanted to show signs that it was actually bothering him to a level where he couldn't practice.
Yeah.
And the swelling would go down and it just come right back. Now, I don't know if that was him just managing it through it. And sometimes he didn't have to do it every day or every week. But sometimes it would just swell up, maybe because we played on some turf or he had a hard cut and it was like, I don't feel so good. And he come out there like a warrior and didn't miss a practice. Yeah, it was pretty fascinating. I was wondering why he's playing patty cake at practice. I used to mess up. Why are you playing patty cake? We can see that on. That's he said. Oh, I was just saying Baker, man.
Well,
my knee was sore.
That's a huge dude too. That's a lot of person to be carrying around on a hurt knee.
He's a specimen though. He
was.
Yeah, he was special. That's why he went top 5.
Right. There is video again of Julio and AJ, and I'll just say this: Julio Jones in these videos, and you watched, and you're our resident physician as well on the show.
Yeah. With no doctor.
You like what you're seeing about Julio Jones?
Oh,
on these
Julio
videos.
Jones looked like no one's wrong with him. Now I'm just eyeball test. I saw AJ Brown jump up for a pass, just in warming up, And I felt like he was just a little bit restricted or protecting himself, but he looks well enough to play for sure. Yeah, which he played last week. But he's going to test it more and more, on the vert there when he was jumping up. So, yeah, he's almost to the finish line. The extra day may help him out a lot. He may feel like he's 100.
How much does playing on – they practice in the bubble today, and that's turf. We've talked some about this. How much better is it just for knees and joints and everything else that they practice on grass and dirt most of the time, and then they play on it here? That's got to be – I know you've talked about it because you played on a parking lot with some – a thin layer of green plastic on it. It was a parking lot.
Yeah, for 3 years.
The Astrodome.
I firmly believe that's why I had 3 scopes on my knee because of that parking lot called the Astrodome.
How hard did it hurt when you hit the ground? It's not ground, the parking lot.
You learn how to fall regardless if it's on a turf or not. So I can't say the fall were any different in my mind. Because you're not focusing on it, I would say just the gradual pounding of you running on those surfaces and then stopping and planning. It's just like on concrete. So those times just kind of add up. But we never practice on turf, so we were always on grass. And I would say to what you're leaning to talking about is, it's beneficial not to practice or play on it. I firmly believe that the longevity. Now, there's new turf now, which is better, supposedly. And I want to believe them that it is better than what was used before, but I don't know if it's still good for your body.
Yeah,
to a certain extent. So, but better. It's easier to maintain, but it's definitely better than the turf before, what was in the vet or Astrodome or anywhere else back in the early 90s.
You didn't play in the vet though, did you? When you got to Philly, you've played there as a visitor. They weren't still in the vet when you played, were they?
Yes, that was the last year.
You played in the old vet.
Yeah, boy. You talking about looking like I was, Snoop Dogg out there playing. I mean that literally. I had on sleeves tight. Dang, man, you looking like socks all the way up. Yeah, it wasn't a good deal. I wore different shoes than I would wear. Yeah, it was different.
Was it basically concrete by that point? Was there any give to it?
You're probably asking the wrong person because, and I say that even though I played 8 games there during the regular season and then 2 in the playoffs, is that you kind of block the things out that are affecting you and you just try to move forward because you have to deal with it.
Yeah.
So I could say it was okay. I felt like they tried to have better turf in there. In fact, it wasn't flat like it was thin or anything like that. It was because at that time they had changed the turf. So our practice facility indoor, which we were on a lot because it was cold down there and snowy, 10 inches of snow and all those things. So they had that kind of turf outdoor. So it was much better than the original vet.
Did you ever I remember watching games at the height of the AstroTurf era, especially indoor teams, and guys just wearing what looked like sneakers, not even turf shoes. They look like sneakers, basketball shoes.
Well, a lot of players did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not. No, I wore turf shoes. Yeah, the turfs that came out. Actually, my rookie year, I had a Reebok contract, so I was wearing Reebok turfs at the time.
You blowing some people's mind with turf shoe talk. They had a lot of these little teeny tiny cleats underneath them.
Yeah.
I remember I actually bought the Earl Campbell pony turf shoes as just my shoes because I wanted to look like Earl Campbell.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So, whoa. Well, how did Billy White Shoes Johnson feel about that?
He didn't have his own shoe. I had to buy the Earl Campbell's. I always told you I liked the Oilers. I mean, I was all in on the Oilers.
Oh, man.
So I had the Earl Campbell shoes. I wanted to be Billy White shoes. Lucas, any signs of life yet?
With Vrabel?
No radio sign. No Vrabel yet. Players right now. Okay. Speaking of players, this happened today, and we'll certainly talk about this some more. Zach Ertz traded away from
the Eagles, who played last night, by the way.
Yes, he played in the game, and then they traded him. So people are asking.
This is a dirty business.
Hey, man. Hey, we need to see you before you go back.
He's got to play again on Sunday.
No, he can't.
Oh, that's against the rules?
Yes.
So he has to sit out. Okay.
This is the only rule in the world that actually protects a player.
It did.
Nothing protects players. Zero protection for players. Don't ever believe that anybody's trying to protect players.
Commodity, man. You just got to work your work.
You can't play 2 games in the same week. And this happened last year with somebody. Somebody played on Monday night and then got traded. And we were like, this dude's about to, or they played on Sunday and got traded to a team that played on Thursday. We were like, this dude's about to play. And they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
We learned this last year. Somebody will remember that if you do tweet us.
I had no recall of that.
So this happened last year is the only way I know. And somebody asked, I think, Field Yates, and he said, you can't play 2 games in 1 week.
I'm just happy we got lighting in here.
Oh, no, it's like heaven in here. It's all lit up. It's bright.
I can see you.
I know. We didn't even know what each other looked like. It's been so dark in here. But he gets traded. So I thought, well, a bunch of y'all wanted Zach Ertz. I know that because that was a big topic of conversation. They traded him for.
What?
This is where it gets hairy right here. Because there was recently a cornerback traded for a 5th-round pick.
No, he was. Gilmore was a
6th-rounder. Sorry. Gilmore was a 6th-rounder. So he got traded for.
Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz got traded for a cornerback, Tay Gowan.
Oh.
Which at the start of the season, people were like, the Cardinals even have enough cornerbacks. Now they're just trading them away. And this was without Butler.
Tay Gowan.
They traded Tay Gowan.
I don't know. I don't even remember him against the Titans.
I think he was like a 6th-round pick.
Well, I'm just talking about him playing. They corners. I remember Alford because he was D'ing people up. I was like, whoa.
They traded Tay Gowan and a 2022 5th-round pick for Zach Ertz.
They traded for him. Okay.
He is owed $5.6 million, and that's it. This is the end of the line for his contract. So he's a 1-year rental. So I thought, I'm going to look at his stats. So Zach Ertz is, and they have Dallas Goedert, who's their number 1 guy. So he's not even number 1 tight end. 18 for 189 and 2 touchdowns. That's his numbers as a secondary option. The Titans tight ends, all of them, are 23 for 221 and 1 touchdown. Oh, we got Julio Jones. Let's do this. We'll get back to this discussion. Julio Jones talking right now. He's been on track to play. Let's hear from Julio. Julio.
Or do we have Julio?
I think we've got him. Lucas said that he said he's ready to go.
I'm out here practicing. I'm out here flying around, and I feel good.
Is the hamstring a little bit concerning to you at all? Because I know it was last year.
Hamstring?
Well, you were on the injury report.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was just tight, just precautionary reasons, things like that. But I feel good now.
Julio, how, excited are you to maybe start getting in a groove with having both you and AJ out there and just you guys? Everybody wants to see what can happen when you guys get out there together, and I kind of got to guess it's the same for you.
Most definitely. Just for myself, just being out there with the team, being out there with the guys, putting the work in at practice, and then just being able to go into a game and just let the practice and the process show the timing, things like that can kind of pay off at the end of the day. But we'll be ready Monday. We just got to keep putting the work in. No, you're fine.
Your fair share of primetime games over your career.
Mm-hmm.
How much of a little extra excitement is there, especially going into the game and for the first time with you with this team?
Right. I'm always excited. I have fun. I love playing football. It's work, right? But I have fun. I enjoy it. Mondays, Sundays, Thursdays, whatever day it is, you with your brothers. It's always fun to go out there and compete.
We haven't really seen you and AJ together, full speed, doing your thing,
Mm-hmm.
like we talked about all summer, waiting for, and opposite Derek. You feel like this is the time now?
Don't quote me on this, right? Nah. Just wait and see on Sunday. I mean, I ain't gonna, Monday. I'm not gonna stir it up or anything like that. I'm very confident in myself and my teammates. So.
We haven't seen. I mean, a lot of talk about you and AJ not being together a lot. You feel like we haven't really seen the true Titans offense and what this team's all about yet, and how much better will it be when things do come together?
That's on us. At the end of the day, just coming out here and just keep working. Preparation, things like that, so y'all can see the best version of myself, and then and the other guys as well. So we just got to continue to just keep working and just getting better each and every day.
We talked to Bud a couple weeks ago, Julio, and he kind of said that he wanted to be out there so quickly that maybe, looking back, maybe he tried to get out there too quickly. I wonder if you think that was any the case for you trying to come back from, your injury in training camp and so forth?
No. Once I suit up, I'm ready to go. I don't, for myself, I just go out there, and if I feel like I can play, I'm playing. Things happen. It's football. I've been doing it for a long time. It's just like, for me, I'm not going to blame it on anything fast or whatever for myself. So, but that's it. I'm just taking care of myself now.
Is it easy to get back in the flow and get the timing back with Ryan after you've missed a couple of weeks?
Yes, it's just like I said. It's not. I wouldn't say it's easy. I wouldn't say it's hard. Like I said, you just got to come here and do it and put the work in. And we had enough time to do so. It was a great game. I wish we would have won, but it was good. The fans, everything coming out and being supportive, though. So.
You've been to a few?
That was my first one.
Okay. You've obviously played in primetime games before. Do you think a lot of people are going to be tuning in Monday to kind of see Julio in a Titans uniform for the first time and just kind of see how you are and what you're about?
Well, I don't know what people are going to be doing, but I'm going to be ready to go. For me, just coming to work. So I don't know what they're going to be doing or what they're doing. I'm putting the work in each and every day to prepare myself for Monday night.
Ryan give you a hard time over there in an Alabama game?
No, not at all. Nobody gives me a hard time over Alabama. Anything. You know what I'm saying? It's just, they know. Just be happy. We didn't play our best ball, and, that's what happens. So they'll get it right. All right, thank you. Yeah.
That was Julio Jones speaking to the Titans media. He was
all above there.
He was unfiltered.
Yeah, he was confident. He was funny. He was unbeknown to him.
Yeah.
About his hamstring. I don't know, man. There's a lot in there. We gotta break that all down during the break.
Yeah, I think Lucas is going to grab that sound.
But one thing was funny though. He said hamstring when they asked him about how's your hamstring doing. Hamstring? What? He's like, what are you talking about? Making face hamstring. I wish somebody would have said, yeah, something's wrong with your hamstring, right? How's it doing?
Yeah.
So he could have been like, no, there's nothing wrong with my hamstring. Because that's how he was talking.
I know we owe him a break, Lucas. Let's do this. Let's take the break that we need to take right now. We'll come back. A.J. Brown is speaking. We can hopefully catch the end of this and catch Mike Vrabel before the end of this hour. It's Blaine and Mickey, 104.5 The Zone.
J. Martin Ramon.
Oh, man, we appreciate you, brother. Keep on rolling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
Indeed. That's oh, Lord. I just sniped him. Ola, did you snipe him? Ola, you're back. Say what you were saying there at the end. I'm sorry.
Man, I wanted to say tighten up, man.
There you go. Monday from 6 to 10 on 104.5 The Zone.
Some of you probably going to Marshall says on Twitter, Blaine Bishop, I always enjoy listening to you. Your enthusiasm, knowledge, and energy is just so entertaining to hear. Hashtag you keep it real.
Ding! Come on,
Nice,
come
Marshall.
on. Oh, no.
Boom.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you, man.
Marshall is a Christian wife, mom, Grammy football lover, bike rider, prankster, former STE PE teacher, retired educator of 40 years.
Oh.
So shout out to Marshall for shouting out the
Yeah,
hit.
because you get the I guess the computer is up. You can see all the streaming in the comments.
Well, that was just a tweet to us. Now, the Zone TV chat, we're having a little bit of trouble. I will say this. We're waiting on Mike Vrabel, too, by the way. No one is talking right now. There is a guy who in the Zone TV chat that is apparently really mad at Lucas.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because Lucas is Lucas is not – I guess Lucas doesn't think Kentucky can beat Georgia in football. Lucas, what are you doing?
Look, I don't think Kentucky's 6-0 record is a fluke.
Why are you hiding under the table? You went under the table. I can't see you, Lucas.
I was
Stand up.
taking a nap. Taking a nap.
Okay.
Like Georgia's just going to smother them like they have everybody else they've played this season. I really believe that. Kentucky's a good football team. Kentucky might win 10 games this season.
It's funny. It just said 21.21 and a half is on TV right
Yeah,
now.
3 touchdown dogs. And they're on the road. Georgia might be the best team in the
Georgia?
country. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, uh-oh. I don't know. I think Kentucky, man, they're better than people think, man. They beat Florida. I know it was at home, but Georgia's D-line, oh, my gosh. Oh, they have 4 NFL players there. So, 21 points is a lot. I don't see 21.
Old Stoops is
He's doing magic there, man. He's the best coach ever. All time. In Kentucky football history.
well, they did have Bear Bryant for just a little bit.
Oh, that don't count.
Yeah. Modern history. Okay, we'll say that.
Modern history.
He would be one of those guys, let's say they had a down year and they won 3 or 4 games. And maybe some people would start clamoring like, the fire and fire. I would ask this, especially for that job as well as he's done. That would be the ultimate, okay, who are you going to get better? Like, who would do better than him than he's done at that job all this time?
Well, he's going to keep leverage to get a raise, that's for sure. That's what I'd be. That's what all the other coaches do.
Oh, no. Anytime there's an opening, I'm telling my agent, leak my name out there.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to take the USC job. Do not do that, Stoops.
No.
I would dare him to do it if I'm the AD. Oh, I dare. You're not going to do that. No. You're going to go there and fail. No. Stay right here. We'll give you a little bump. Not $1 million bump, though.
I think it's just so hard for guys sometimes to just read the room because there's a prestige of a job or the money of a job. Well, that USC job has been chewing people up and spitting them out for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Kentucky job has not chewed him up or spit him out. And he's going to win 10 games sometimes, but he might win 6 or 7 sometimes. So, and their fans don't ever seem to want to run him out.
No.
Because they know.
They'd be crazy if they did.
I think they'd be crazy. And he always gets right back on the horse. And here they come again.
Yeah. They're good developers of talent and good X and O guys. I mean, man, just think about what they did when they moved the Bowden guy to quarterback.
Yeah.
That was just insane. And it was because they had to.
In Division I football. But you talk about this all the time. Guys get stubborn. I run my system. I do what I do. They threw all that out the window.
They said, we have the talent to do this. I think we can get it done.
And they did it.
Yeah.
And they won games with that guy.
Was pretty impressive, man. Tip to cap to those guys. Because that was on the fly. That was not like we did it during training camp and all that. No, this is in the middle of the season. Well, really, the third game or so.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Scrapped everything.
That was, man.
And just ran it right at people with that dude. Chuck in Clarksville wants to talk a little UK and UGA. Hey, Chuck, what's going on?
Hey, guys. Hey, I'm a big Kentucky fan. I love this team. I kind of like Lucas. I don't think they can beat Georgia, but this is the thing you need to watch Saturday with Georgia and Kentucky. Mm-hmm. Kentucky's offensive line has 2 high NFL prospects and has been really beating people up this year. And Georgia's defensive line is the best in the country. There's no doubt about it. Yep. That's going to be a hell of a battle, watching those two go at it. And Chris Rodriguez is size-wise, another Derrick Henry size-wise. So if Kentucky can get their wheel going with the running game, it could be close. But that's the only way they're going to have a chance is Chris Rodriguez have 200 yards rushing.
I don't know if he's going to have a good day versus that line, but 21 points is a lot. I know Georgia's at home, right? Ugh, nah, I don't see that. I just don't. I think I think they're going to throw the ball. I think they're going to throw the ball around the yard. They're going to do whatever it takes to win the game. So I'm not going to say they're going to win. I think Georgia's still going to win the game. 21 points, that's a huge line.
Yeah, I'd take the Cats in 21.
Yeah, I would take the Cats in 21 for sure.
Lucas, you said Mike Vrabel up at the podium. Let's grab a little of this Mike Vrabel then right quick as he speaks on a Friday.
Oh, man, I want to hear Julio.
You know,
what impact might they have on the offense as a whole?
Again, we got to go out there and execute against an excellent defense, top-ranked defense in the league. And, you know, hopefully that they're, you know, anybody who plays for us is doing their job and, you know, executing. And for our receivers, that's, you know, getting open and catching the ball when the quarterback throws it, and then, you know, being efficient in the run game and trying to help our running backs.
When they come out in 4 wide as an offense, what kind of, whether it's Dalton Knox as the 4th wide receiver or whomever, Dawson Knox, what is that kind of conflict?
That'd be 11 personnel, so
okay.
10 personnel is 4 wide receiver. They run spread. Yeah. Well, I mean, they make you cover the entire field. You know, RPO game, lateral passing game, and then they'll mix it up and, you know, run vertical stuff and, you know, usually some concept on one side that the quarterback can pick and then, you know, something on the other side. But, you know, it identifies the box and, you know, how many guys you got in there when they're in a spread.
Some of the guys have said this week that a part of your message is don't look at the numbers. Is that the case, and why?
Well, you kind of get caught up in how statistically good they are, statistically great. You know, and then again, we have to execute and go play against a very good team. That's rightfully so that they, you know, they've earned those numbers, and it's impressive. And I just want to make sure that, you know, we focus on what our plan is and how we need to try to play the game. I mean, they're +9 in turnover margin after 5 games, you know, averaging 34 points, giving up 12, and you know, number 3 in red zone, or 3 in third down, 1st in the red zone on defense. So it's going to be a huge challenge.
Mike, I know you want the consistency and approach for each game, but when you were a player, was there a different feel when you played these prime time Monday night games before the whole league's watching you?
Maybe early on. And we probably played, you know, more than normal, you know, once things were going. So just making sure that you're sound and, you know, not trying to do too much, I guess, and just, you know, doing your job instead of trying to go outside of, you know, maybe the defense or what you should be doing. You know, it's always just trying to make a play, and we just would like it to be a good one. Sorry, John, go ahead.
1 or 2 things you think you guys are doing better in bringing that third down number down from last season?
Probably covering better and rushing better.
Coach, for you, a week like this, do you want to give him
John just chuckles when he doesn't like the answers, I guess.
I don't know what else to do.
And I don't know how else to answer it. You know what I mean? Those are the 2 elements that we talk about all the time. Covering better and rushing better. So hopefully we can continue to do that, John.
A week like this, does it really help to have just 1 extra day for the recovery process?
I think probably that's where we're at now with this football team. I mean, you know, as many guys as going to be on the injury report that comes out. I mean, that's some more time that we can get to try to get guys healthy to play against a physical football team. You know, we did that last week. And now we're going to have to play against an even more physical team with the Bills.
Sorry, AJ mentioned maybe some limitations within playing based on his condition. When you have 2 receivers coming back with hamstrings, is there a way to monitor and ensure that, do your best to ensure that it doesn't get re-aggravated?
I mean, it's NFL wide receivers. I mean, there's this level of expectation that you're going to have to run. So I'm not sure what limitations he's referring to.
Snap count last week, and he said he doesn't expect to be.
These are all things that are new to me. We take out the guys when they're tired, and we have to focus on our conditioning, and so we want our best players in there as much as they can be in there. That's usually good for the team.
I know in some packages that you've had Danico on the edge, but when he and Jeffrey have both been on the interior, how much have they complemented each other's play?
They've been disruptive. I think there's some times in, Seattle and, different times that they're working in there together. They've been working together since training camp, seem to have a good relationship, a very good relationship. To try to, work some games in there and work some stunts and hopefully, be disruptive on the inside. One's more of a power guy. One's got a little bit more, length. Sorry, Jimmy.
You talk about health. I mean, you like where you're going, at least trending in the right direction at receiver. I mean, Julio, AJ have good weeks. Now Marcus back in the flow a little bit more. How much will that help the offense if you can consistently have the same guys in there week after week?
Well, it'll help the entire team that, we feel like we're getting anytime that we can get guys back or what we feel like are our best players, that would be great. It'd be wonderful.
Oh, it's the last day that we get access to you, and there's still one more day of practice. Is there anybody that you're ruling out for Monday night?
On a Thursday? No.
As Farley
it's a Thursday.
Yeah.
I know he missed the one day with the illness, but just as far as his body of work this week, how has it been?
Good. Again, it's just there's some setback there with, unfortunately dealing with an illness. So just trying to get, weight back and, strength and, there's a lot of things that go into that. But I think mentally he's been sharp and was able to get some work in today, and we'll get some tomorrow.
Like that game against the Bills was so strange last year in the build-up and unprecedented, not practicing and all that. Number one, why do you think you guys played so well that night? And did you take anything from that moving forward in the weird preparation that was kind of forced on you?
I think the players just really took advantage of the opportunities. They threw us a couple. One off the receiver's hands. We caught it. We scored a lot of short fields. When you're able to get 3 turnovers and not have any on offense, and then get another one on kickoff in a short field, I think you take away that's the magnitude that turnovers can have on a game. Whether it's statistically they had more yards or they did that. And as far as the preparation, I think it's just, there was a lot of focus, I felt like. I think that there was an unknown, but I think that there was a great deal of focus in how we had to handle and how we had to prepare for that situation.
It's a live look in with Mike Vrabel as the Titans get ready for Monday Night Football against the Bills. We're a little bit over 20 minutes away from Mike Keith. Don't go anywhere. Hour number 2 of Blaine and Mickey coming up.
It's Riverdale at Oakland in the Battle of the Borough on the 104.5 The Zone Game of the Week. Presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and Paul Winkler Investing. Coverage starts tonight at 6:30 with Will Bowling and Lucas Panzica on your home for high school football. 104.5 The Zone.
Because I know it was last year.
Hamstring.
Well, you were on the injury report.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was just tight, just precautionary reasons, things like that. But I feel good now.
He acted like that was a shock to him.
Wait, what? Hamstring?
It's like he didn't know what was on the injury report.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And do you think he was playing coy, or he really did not know that was what was on the injury report?
Well, y'all didn't see his facial expression. It was like hamstring. Kind of gave this look like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Where I got that from. And that leads us to old Mixter's buddy said that
3 weeks ago.
My body is tight. Well, I'm going to show you my body's tight.
I told y'all this, little birdie.
In the ATL.
Little Falcon birdie. Said, hey, man, your receiver's about to not play a couple of weeks. He's going to have some problems. I said, oh, no.
He's tight.
And he said, yeah, he's going to be tight. He's going to be tight against the Jets. He's going to be tight against the Jags. He said, something tells me, though, it's just some kind of healing's going to come over him right before Monday Night Football, and he'll be good to go.
But why did this happen?
Because if you tell me I'm tight.
Because he was taken out of the fourth quarter. Vrabel said that he was tight.
Yep.
And that means that he believed that he wasn't tight, that he was taken out.
Hamstring? Can you play that one more time?
That is the funniest thing I've ever
Can you
heard.
hit that one? Okay, let's
That
hear.
was telling.
Yes.
And remember, I kept on saying, I want to hear from Julio.
Here we go.
Because I don't think he's going to back away from
Hamstring a little bit concerning to you at all? Because I know it was last year.
Hamstring.
Well, you were on the injury report.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was just tight, just precautionary reasons, things like that. But I feel good now.
He said, it's just tight. I said this 3 weeks ago. I'm just telling you what I am being told. He won't play against the Jets. He won't play against the Jags. He will be fine again when Monday Night Football rolls around. And we're all on track. Well, 2 of those things have already happened. And number 3 appears to be on track to happen, back for Monday Night Football.
And I don't think Julio will be taken out for tightness unless he takes himself out for tightness.
I don't think
here on out. That is what I'm going to say about that. That's what that sounds like. Like, hey, man, you don't be taking me out for nothing. I tap out when I'm tired.
Right.
But when you tell me I'm out and I'm down, we don't work like that. Me, myself, and I don't work like that.
None of the 3 of us. The 3 of us, me, myself, and I will decide. We will tap our helmet.
Ooh, wow. Yeah, so I'll shine on Monday night. Hopefully I get some balls. Hopefully everything works itself out. All I can do is grind. So that was hilarious. What else was that was hilarious, man. I've never heard anything like that before in my life. But
Glennon was like, you're on the injury report.
Like he had to tell him.
What?
I'm on the injury report.
Hamstring.
Like, so he wasn't in the training room these last 2 weeks? Like he wasn't getting any training room service. I mean, was he even here? I mean, he might have been somewhere else. I have no idea. Oh man, that will be an all-time great interview about an injury.
Hamstring.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on the injury report. Oh, okay. I was tight.
Yeah.
Tightness. Oh, it was tightness. I mean,
but
and I'm not saying that's the whole story, that there may be more to it. But again, a guy told me something, and I told that to you guys, and everything that this guy said has happened.
He acted like he was talking about hamstring. What? Like last year with the Falcons?
Yeah. Oh yeah, last year. Yeah, tight. Yeah, last year. Sure.
Hamstring was tight, but there was some good stuff also from Vrabel though. He talked a little bit about the passing game. Mm-hmm. It's a vertical as well as lateral passing game. He said don't get caught up in the numbers. I don't know if I really would have said that to my team, but the players repeated that, I guess, because you're only speaking as though you're the coach, because he's telling you pretty much what to say in so many words. Because it doesn't matter to me as a competitor. Well, they're not gonna do that to us. We're about to shut them down. Let's see the game plan. Let's see what's up. So the numbers are what they are. They don't lie, but you better be having your A game, or these numbers will be true. Mm-hmm. And as I said, they're the best, and everybody's saying, I think, pretty much that they're the best team in the AFC right now. So you wanna play your best and take down the number 1 team, and it helps you in your seeding overall. Brings them back to the pack. Okay, matter of fact, would they have the same record if they beat them?
Sure would, as a matter of fact.
Big game.
And
Big game.
And as you said earlier this week about this situation, hey, just win the game. Then everybody's going to be talking about you again. Then you'll go from all these question marks to, oh, yeah, Titans, right up there at the top. You beat the Bills, you're right back there where you want to be.
And well, I'm sure we'll be like right outside the top 5, but
Sure.
Because
They'll have to earn their way back slowly.
Yeah,
But yes, Donnie in Smyrna wants to talk about Julio on the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline. Hey, Donnie, thanks for checking in.
Hey, fellas, long time, first time. Just curious, you think he took those 2 games off to maybe be ready for Monday night because it's a big stage and maybe auditioning maybe for another team for next year?
Donnie, I appreciate the phone call.
I can see how somebody could think that. Yeah, I don't know. Have no idea. Now, reason why I say
my birdie didn't go that far.
Right. Reason why I say you can't really believe that side of it from the outside, I can see that because I would think that initially. But that means the Titans have to be on board with this mysterious injury.
Right.
That's what I said. Where was he getting treatment if he was acting coy about a hamstring injury? Like, he didn't have it. So I'm like, well, was he getting treatment? Like, where was he at? I'd love somebody to ask another, like Tannehill. Hey, so did you ever see Julio in the training room? Check on him? No, I don't go in there. I mean, that sounded weird, man. And so people are going to start making accusations like the caller just said. Like, is he preparing himself to make him more valuable for even this year or next year if he's not on the roster?
Well, there's no way that guy wants to stop playing, I would think, anytime soon. So I would think, I mean, heck yeah, I would want to look great on Monday night. I mean, I'm for my team and for any other team that might be watching.
Right.
Monday night, whole world watches. Nobody's flying anywhere. Nobody's anywhere but at home. Everybody can watch you on Monday night. So all eyes. We got Mike Keith. He's going to be doing the game on Monday night right here on 104.5 The Zone. He's set to join us next. So why don't you stay and stick and stay and listen because the VOT is coming up next on Blaine and Mickey 104.5 The Zone.
The 3HL with Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, and Ron Slay.
Here's the deal. We're so spoiled because we watch Derrick Henry every single weekend, and we forget how freaking fast that dude
No, and what
is.
did I say? What did I say all season on these videos?
Derrick Henry, I believe, slowed down a little bit too in order to give him the stiff arm. Then when he saw him, when he saw it, it was like, darn, dude.
And it was like swatting a flea.
I'll go bunk over that.
Today, starting at 3 on 104.5 The Zone.
and enjoy this game on Saturday night with the Vols and Ole Miss?
And yet, are you going to be there?
Consume. That's good. I'll probably listen to it on 104.5 The Zone. Yes.
All right. I didn't know maybe if that meant you get to be there.
Well, tomorrow is Friday.
Yeah.
And so I have to work tomorrow. And that's it's not an all day thing, but there's some things we have to do. And so you get to the point where when we finish here, by the time you get up there, it's an hour later, and it just ends up being a whole thing. So the only time I really can go is if we're on a bye, and the bye doesn't work this year in that way. So unfortunately, no, but I'm so glad that 104.5 The Zone has Bob Kessling and Pat Ryan and Brent Hubbs.
Isn't it fun hearing Pat again?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah,
for me too.
It's so fantastic to hear the perspective that he offers from his mind, understanding offense the way that he does, and really being able to break down this offense, and just the curmudgeon that he is too when he's annoyed that the game's running too long or that they haven't brought him an ice cream sandwich or something. It's just so fantastic. And Pat Ryan is he's a treasure. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. I talked to him earlier this week, and we were just laughing about him being back doing it and how he's having so much fun. He likes what they're doing over there. He likes sort of the feel of the program right now. They're not going to win the national championship. Nobody's saying that, but I think everybody senses they might be on the right track this time, that this guy might have it. And for Pat to be positive about it, that's really saying something.
Wow. All right. From some Vols memories, let's jog your mind just for a minute. Monday Night Football memories. It's so cool when the Titans get to do this. They wandered around in the wilderness for a few years and didn't have opportunities like this. Now here we are again, Monday Night Football, the big stage. Your favorite Monday night memory as the voice of the Titans?
So many. I think the Monday night in Washington in 2000 is right at the top of the list for a lot of reasons. The Samari Roll interception return at the end of the first half, on the last play of the first half. Washington was the team they were sort of put together like the Yankees or the Dodgers that year. You may remember they went out and signed like every free agent there was. Daniel Snyder had been their owner for a year, and they had every free, including Deion Sanders.
Right.
They had every free agent in the world, and so they were getting all this attention, and the whole game was about them on TV. And it was really quite a thing, and the Titans just took them apart. Game was not as close as what the score indicated, and that was a fantastic night overall in our nation's capital. That was a great memory. The first Monday night game against Jacksonville will always be forever emblazoned in my mind, based on the fact that it was such a big moment for Nashville. It was what Phil Bredesen had always imagined when he went after an NFL team. The city was lit up. Everybody was just so proud. And then the Titans went out and just destroyed the Jacksonville Jaguars, which, was so extra special at that moment because of where the rivalry was. 2008, Code Blue, the first Code Blue beating the Peyton Manning-led Indianapolis Colts. They went for it on fourth down, and Stephen Tulloch made the great play on Dominique Rhodes, and next play, deep ball for a touchdown, and the Titans go on to win and continue their undefeated start. All of those are the ones that really jump out to me. And how could I leave out 2007, Keith Bullock, 3 interceptions in the Superdome against Drew Brees? Pretty remarkable night as well. For us of this age, Monday Night Football is still a bigger thing than Sunday Night Football.
Agreed.
Because that's what we grew up with. In terms of TV, it's not anymore. Sunday Night Football is the number one TV show in America. But for those of us of a certain age who remember Howard Cosell and Dandy Don Meredith and, Frank Gifford and those days, Monday Night Football is just the thing.
Oh, man, you got me fired up. Mike Keith, the voice of the Titans, on with Blaine and Mickey. Woo.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I could say I was part of 2 of those games you at least mentioned there.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I'm
That way.
surprised. Yeah, I can't believe you didn't talk about my great block to free doorknob to get that touchdown right before half, man. But
Well, that's what
okay.
I would have talked about that if I'd had longer.
No, just kidding, man. Well, we are now at week 5 with Mike Keith, voice of the Titans, and going into week 6, what would you say is the identity of the team, and is that style good enough to take us all the way to the Super Bowl?
It's a good question. Really good question, because I think as we review what happened in Jacksonville, I think we saw the template. Better on third down offensively, better in the red zone scoring touchdowns, continuing to make people have to drive the football on defense and being good with third down defense, executing situations at the end of halves or at the end of ball games or in specific situations very, very well. When you took the emotion out of last week's game, and it never felt like they quite had it until the end, and I think everybody knew they had to have it, so you were frustrated. It was kind of driving you crazy. It did me. I can't speak for everybody, but I'm guessing that, it was kind of like, come on, guys, win this game. You're better than these guys. Finish them off. And they never quite did until the end. Once you knew they had won it, and you could go back and you could watch it with a non-emotional, just critical eye, you saw the template. Lots of Derrick Henry in the second half. Lots of different, lots of good things overall. If they keep doing that, and they can eliminate the explosive plays on defense. And in other words, if they can build on that template, I think this can be a very successful rest of the season. And I think they can have a chance to win a lot of ball games. But that's what it's going to take. That's who they are. They've got to be efficient. They've got to do those things that you really want to see in terms of taking away the big plays defensively. That, to me, is the biggest thing you come away with. I mean, you take out the 2 58-yard plays, and that's a heck of a defensive effort down there. Now, you can't do that. But I do think if you get to the point that you're playing soundly to where that's not happening, that can be a really good defense. The pass rush is getting better. The pursuit to the football is getting better. The takeaways are getting better. Those things are happening. That was not a good enough effort to beat Buffalo, period. But if you build on that, if you do that better, I think you have a chance.
Outside of injuries, at this point in time in the season, what is your biggest concern?
I think overall the concern is protection of Tannehill, because Tannehill is so important to what they do. And I mean no disrespect to Logan Woodside or Matt Barkley, but they're not Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill's a really good quarterback, and he's a really good quarterback in this system. He's a really, really good quarterback for this team at this moment in time. I think he's in the right place, and they're in the right place with him. They've got to take care of him, Blaine. They have to take care of him, because if they do, I think I don't think there's anybody out there they can't beat when they're doing their thing with him at quarterback. Not saying they're the favorite for anything, but all you're asking for is a chance. When you get deep into this season, all you're asking for is a shot. Hey, let us get into the tournament and let's take a shot. And I think he gives you that sort of shot, but you've got to protect him. He can't be sacked 68 times this year. That just can't happen. They've got to continue to improve that. And I agree with Vrabel, and Dave McGinnis was saying it when we were playing the Jets. He said, listen, a lot of this pressure is happening because the receivers can't get off the bump. And he said they've got to, it takes everybody. I get it. But whatever it's going to take, whatever the reason is, it's got to happen.
We're on with the VOT, voice of the Titans, and Hall of Famer, Mike Keith.
Several Halls of Fame, for sure, Mike Keith. It's interesting with this team, Mike, because maybe we get to finally see Julio and AJ together this week. I was looking at the offensive line, and like a couple of those guys had COVID, Nate Davis and Ben Jones. Heck, I had it. It knocked me for a loop and took me forever to get back. I'm not a young pro athlete, but I still know what it can do to people. And on defense, you really still haven't seen Bud Dupree, and Darrington Evans hasn't played this year. And, the rookies are finally starting to maybe find their place. I know people have kind of been frustrated by some of what they've seen, but if you could I ask this way to John Glennon, in a Star Wars reference, if you could get this Battlestar fully operational, which it seems to be trending towards, it's scary to think of what they might be able to do.
It's true. And I think that's why this stretch is so important, because I've said all along, and I know people hate, patience, but I think this team will be better after its bye than it is now. I think they will go into December and they will grab that bye and they will be able to head down the stretch and be very, very dangerous. The key, though, Mickey, is you've got to win enough to get to the bye to where you can potentially make hay in December. You can't go over for this stretch. You've got to win some ball games. Don't have to win them all. Nope, I don't think anybody expects you to win the ball, although that would be super. But, you've got to be able to grab some victories because, again, if we get to week 18 and this team finishes the year AFC South champions for the second year in a row, or they get in the playoffs as a wild card, they're dangerous. They are very, very dangerous because of what you're talking about, and that is the pieces and parts that will continue to come together and grow. I'll give you another one. This defense needs a Monty Hooker back at safety badly. That's a guy who can make a difference in this defense the moment he steps back on the field. The moment he steps back on the field. And that's not one of the big name guys that you just mentioned, Sure. But that's kind of where we are right now. You're looking for all of those guys to get back. Getting Marcus Johnson back last week. Well, you're saying, Marcus Johnson, what? We got Julio Jones and A.J. Brown. Marcus Johnson showed out in the preseason. He is a professional receiver who can really, really help you. And it takes, more than two. So I think all the pieces and parts are very exciting if you can get them back together, healthy, and on the same page. And, just like COVID, when you don't play and you don't practice, you get knocked off your game. So not only do you need to get these guys back for the games, you need to get them back for the work preparing for the games in order to be as effective as possible.
I'm with Mike Keith, the voice of the Tennessee Titans. In the meantime, Mike, do you worry at all that maybe Derrick Henry is getting a little too much play, a little too much usage early on in this season?
I would if it was anybody else. I really, I would if I were the Browns announcer and it was Nick Chubb, or if it was Ezekiel Elliott in Dallas. But this guy is not normal. This is not what we're seeing is not normal. We are seeing history. We're seeing somebody incredibly special. It's an honor to witness this every week because of the type of athlete he is, the type of competitor he is, the type of human being he is. I don't think there is any level. Now, people are saying, well, look at how the numbers prorate. There's probably going to be a weekend here somewhere that the game is going to dictate that doesn't happen, and it will all even out. That's normally how it goes down. But even if it doesn't, he can handle it because he dishes out so much punishment and takes such incredible care of himself, and they take such incredible care of him. This is not – they don't expect him to take every practice rep, and I don't think there's one player on the team that resents how he's handled. I think the other players on the team say, hey, Derrick, you just do what you need to do. We're glad to be on your team.
We're glad to have Mike Keith on our team here at The Zone. He joins Blaine and Mickey right now.
Well, Mike, you're talking about how special Derrick Henry is, and naturally it's kind of like he's from another planet. But last season, kind of take us through and jog our memory on how did the Bills actually hold Derrick Henry? I think he had under 60 yards in this game. Was it anything that they did differently, or did the game get away and maybe he wasn't carrying the football? Maybe he was out. I don't even remember. Kind of take us through and jog our memory.
He's never had a good game against him. Not one time. This will be the fourth time he's played him, and he's never had a big game. Oh, wow. He played some in the October 7, 2018 game up there, and he had 11 carries for 56 yards. The game here 2 years ago where the Titans missed all the field goals, he had 20 carries for 78 yards. Last year, 19 carries for 57 yards. He did have 2 touchdowns, but, I mean, they're that good. They're giving up 78 yards a game in rushing. Let me summarize them and what they are in one statistic, or maybe better said, one sentence. Because I'm sure you've read all the stats, and I have too. They're the number one scoring offense and the number one scoring defense in the NFL. Yeah. That's all you need to know. They score the most points and they give up the fewest amount of points. And they were built, Blaine, for defense. That's how they built this thing up. But what they were going to be is they were going to be defense and running the ball and an athletic quarterback. And guess what happened on the way to their plan? Josh Allen turned out to be a lot better than even they thought. And so they went out and got him Stephon Diggs, and now they brought in Emmanuel Sanders, and Dawson Knox is becoming a star. And all of a sudden, it's Jim Kelly and the K-gun all over again in a different form, but with an incredibly dominant defense, whereas the Buffalo defense has made big plays before, back in those days. This is a Baltimore-type defense.
Well, I want to ask you about someone who's not actually with the Titans anymore, and that's Ty Sambrailo. I've never seen a guy retire in the middle of a season. I'm interested if you can recall someone else doing it that was actually playing that, retired. To me, you would just be on injured reserve and you still get paid. How does it work? If you retire, you don't get paid, do you?
No, I don't. The whole thing is sort of a strange scenario. Normally, if you were unhappy, you would ask to be released or ask to be traded. Mm-hmm. That's normally how that would work. And I mean, I think there's something in there that, for whatever reason, he won't play anymore. And, the Titans have other guys. They'll be okay. It would be great if he were still on the team. He was not a starter, but he did a nice job. Certainly not going to judge him in any way, shape, or form, because I think what we know is there may be something else in his life going on that may dictate something, a personal situation. You don't know. And we all deal with things at different times that, are not apparent on the surface. I don't know anything specific. And one of the challenges for me in all of this is I've never met Ty Sambrailo. Because he was a player who came in last year in the COVID year, and because we're still, not fully able to engage with everybody. So I had a friend of mine ask me, they said, well, what happened? I said, I couldn't begin to tell you. I've never said hello to him. I've never had the opportunity.
Wow. Well, Mike will be listening on Monday night. It's going to be awesome. Fun game. This is a chance for the Titans to really shoot into a lot of national prominence with a win over, like you said, the team that scores the most and allows the least. And we can't wait to hear you and Coach Mack and everybody and Rhett and Titans Amy on the call. It's going to be an electric atmosphere for sure.
Well, thanks for having me on, guys. I hope you have a great weekend, and hopefully I'll see you Monday night.
Yes, sir. Man, it's going to be fun, and you don't want to miss it. Turn down the TV, turn up the radio. That's the way you do it. When we come back, it's time to call your shot. We do it every Friday. That's right. You can hit us on the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline, 615-737-1045, Zone TV chat, or tweet us at Blaine and Mickey. Call your shot next.
The Titans and Bills go at it on Monday Night Football.
I like it.
Continuous coverage all day. Monday with kickoff at 7:15 on your home for Titans football. 104.5 The Zone.
it's referred to this as a pleasure trip. He has no broadcast responsibility.
Yeah, you tailgate.
No broadcast responsibilities, but I do on Monday. So,
Well, Monday, the game's Saturday night.
Yes. No, I'll be
saying
tailgating.
it's going to take you that long to recover?
No, we'll see how the game goes. I'll be roaming around. I'd like to visit. I'd like to see Slay and his tailgate outside communications building before they start broadcasting. I'll be around.
Okay, you gonna be at Calhoun?
Maybe. It's tough to get to Calhoun's from campus. You know, like when you're walking around, game day atmosphere. It's kind of a ways away.
Lucas, you ready to call your shot?
Yeah.
Is it going to be as obscure as it was last week? Like a third quarter over under and a Mountain West game or whatever it was?
Henry rushing over. It was the Henry rushing over.
That's right. Where are we at? What's the record? Let's start there because I know I'm 0 for 2, right?
So you're 0 for 2. Mickey's 1-1.
Okay.
You had the under on Henry rushing, Blaine. You said
I know what
Henry
I had.
under, but Titans win, and he hit the over there on that last drive. Mickey, you had Titans covering against the Jets and the Jags, so you're 1-1.
Okay.
And last week I had Henry with the over rushing, so I am 2-0. So at risk of blemishing my perfect record, I'm calling my shot that Tennessee wins this weekend. I think Tennessee wins this weekend. 2 weeks ago, there was no way I would have said this. Absolutely no way, especially before the Ole Miss Alabama game. But just the momentum they've created, the way this Tennessee defense has played. Ole Miss is 86 in the country in yards per play allowed with 5.7. I think they can find a way to outscore them, and the crowd kind of pushes them over the hump. That's my shot.
Lonzo on the Zone TV chat. We have one working screen in here, and I can see it, Lonzo. He says Titans win by 10 points. Tighten up. Lonzo called a shot. Titans by 10. Lonzo, I appreciate your confidence. I do not know if I share that level of confidence by 10. I think they can beat the Bills, especially with Julio and AJ back. I'm not ready to say Titans by 10 just yet.
I'm definitely not saying Titans by 10. After the vibe, Mike Keefe, voice of the Titans, the Hall of Famer, just told us they always hold Derrick Henry the last 4 games under 100 yards and usually under 60. So then that means it's going to be on Tannehill and Julio and AJ and Rodgers and Ferguson and Pruitt and those guys. That means we got to pass. That means they have to protect. So I'm not as confident as probably most. I'm a little never nervous purpose on this one. I see the Titans losing in a close one. But that's not my shot.
Okay.
They are not favored.
All right.
They are not favored in this
Okay.
game, by the way. I'm calling UT, as I said before. I think they're going to beat them. I'm going to keep it simple because their defense is better. I just think, and then they're going to have that home energy. I think Corral is going to make a couple mistakes, whether it be a fumble or throwing an interception, because he said he hadn't thrown any interceptions yet.
Not throwing an
I
interception.
think that's why this defense is playing better, is because they're not out there thinking they're not running an NFL defense. They're playing college football, playing college-style defense, and they can play fast and furious and make plays, and everything's in front of them. So I think their defense is going to come out and make some plays. I see UT winning comfortably because of their defense making plays. Yeah.
So not like 51-50.
No. I don't know what's the 34-24.
Wow.
Something like that. They're going to I think they're going to win by 10. I'm not real good on picking numbers, and I don't even know what's the number that they have at Vegas. What is the number?
What is the over-under on this?
Oh, it's in the 80s.
Oh, I just said.
No, I'm
so
get
that
it.
was 60s then.
Yeah, it was it's like 84 in that range.
Oh,
Is
so I'm
what the
under
sports
that.
books are saying.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
82, according to
82.
the ESPN app, 82. So it could
82.
UT your favorite.
I think UT's going to beat them by 10 points.
Wow.
So that's I don't know 60 to 70.
Well, they got quite a gauntlet coming up. This would be a huge.
This would be
a huge win.
Huge recruiting weekend too. Tons
Yeah.
of people in town, prospects,
and just tons
atmosphere is going to be great, man. It's going to be rocking checkerboard. They're going to play well. They're going to take Lane down. I think Heupel is going to try to bury him too. Once they get up, I think he's just going to keep going. I mean, and they're going to run right down their throats too. They're going to run the football.
I think with Ole Miss too, they're like Freddy Krueger. You could think they were buried, and they'd climb out of the grave or the burning house or whatever, and keep coming after you. So I think
that's why They won't, because after I watched Lane Kiffin to make it personal versus Nick Saban going for it on fourth downs on their own 30.
Making bad decisions.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. You hurt your team. It became personal. So you can't coach like that. So that was a flaw and a weakness, and I think he's going to take that same approach here because it's Tennessee and he coached here. He wants to show them why he left and what they